Today's podcast is brought to you by Audible. Head over to audibletrial.com/jumbled and get your free 30-day trial and a free audiobook. They've got all of the audiobooks that you could ever want. So head over, check them out, pick something out. You are welcome. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Jumbled, your favorite podcast about nothing. I'm Zach.
And I am disappointed.
You know who's more disappointed right now? Joe in 3 weeks when he listens to this podcast.
He's always like at least 3 weeks behind.
Always, dude.
Sometimes he sends texts about an episode, and I don't even know what he's referring to. It was so long ago, and I just don't retain anything that we talk about.
Like the one he sent today?
Yeah.
I have no idea what that meant.
I think I went on a bit of a rant about bananas and how people open them backwards because of that peel, and that if you watch a monkey, they open it from the bottom.
Okay. Wait, what episode was that he was referencing?
The mom tattoo one, I think.
Oh my god, that was... How far back was that?
That's a little ways away. It was early August because WoW Classic hadn't come out yet, which we can get into. But first, why I'm disappointed. Because Zach, who's in the middle of a weight loss challenge...
That's a loose definition. I'm preparing to get my ass beat mentally. That's really all it is. By the way, August 22nd. That's when it came out.
So, I'm almost a month ago.
Yeah. Anyway, yes, I'm eating a bowl of macaroni and cheese and drinking a Mountain Dew. A very large Mountain Dew. So I
have multiple issues with the Mountain Dew. One, it's not diet.
Yeah.
Two, it's full of caffeine and it's 9 p.m. where you are.
Dude. I'm going to be up anyway. I gotta edit this bitch.
Well, 3, part of that is my fault, so I apologize.
No, it's not your fault. We could have done this yesterday. You were available. I was available. We
mutually agreed not to.
Decided to do it tonight, and that's fine.
And that is fine. So let's talk about WoW Classic. And Jesus Christ, let's just end this right now.
WoW Classic, go ahead.
It's getting its fingers into me.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah. I actually haven't played it as much as I thought I would. Mostly because the server that we signed up on ended up being full. So queue times were on average 3 hours before you could get into the game.
Jesus.
Which was fucking miserable.
Yeah.
And then they fixed some things, and then they opened up free character transfers. But I was in California during the free character transfers. So all the characters, everyone I'm playing with, transferred to a lower population server and got all their characters moved over. But I missed that window. Okay. So I had to restart. And that's shitty. The first 20 levels are just grueling to me. And, but I got a couple things here about this.
Okay.
I am absolutely terrified that a game that came out in 2004-5 that I started playing at that time period, I am playing the exact same game.
Yeah,
15 years later, and I'm still addicted to it. I haven't played WoW in probably 4 years.
Okay.
5 years.
Wow.
Man, it's crazy to think it's been almost 5 years since 4 or 5 years now again since I stopped again. I relapse every 5 years.
Well,
but I can see it. I'm already starting to see it. Today, literally was like, I don't need to go to the gym. Or let's start this backtrack. Yesterday, I was like, I don't need to go to the gym. You competed. You trained on Monday. You need a rest. Like, you're chill. Just, do your thing at home. Just chill at home. So I just binged ate, played WoW, and then watched movies to go to bed. But I played WoW, and I couldn't, like, I was like, okay, I need to go to bed, but I was just so stimulated from the game that I couldn't, so I had to watch some TV to calm my brain. And then today, I was like, you're tired, you got a headache, you're still sore, you don't need to go to the gym, it's okay. It's okay.
You're in the back of your mind, your brain's just like, get me on that WoW.
Yeah, give me that way. Yeah, and I'm like, just think of how nice it would be. The dogs were at daycare. They're gonna be tired. You could just game all night. Just game. Just maybe get a bag of chips.
Yeah.
You know, maybe order a pizza. Be a fat fuck.
Yeah.
Just live a little. Just game.
Yeah, YOLO. Just, everybody deserves a YOLO moment from time to time.
Well, I was a real close to doing it, and then my coach texted me and said, "Yo, I need you to bring me some peanut butter," and then I was like, "Fuck, I guess I'm coming." But then I didn't spar because I was legitimately tired and I am legitimately sore, and I had to pick up the dogs, and I didn't want to keep you waiting.
Oh, dude, it's it's totally fine. You didn't keep me waiting. You wouldn't have kept me waiting even if it was like, 9:00 my time, 8:00 your
That's
time.
fair. You are pretty good that way. But one more thing on WoW. Just one little story about me mind fucking my basement tenant.
Take as much time on WoW as you want, dude.
Okay, so our basement tenant, Cody.
Yep, you've talked about Cody.
Our 26-year-old son.
Yep.
He has been heavy into WoW for the same amount of time. He's played it more, I think. He's played more of the expansions. He's been more committed. I've been bugging him to play my character for me, level my character, so I don't have to. And I've like Cody, I'll pay you. I will pay you to play WoW. That offer still stands, by the way.
He hasn't accepted it?
No, because he hates the first few levels as much as I do, and they're just miserable, and he wants to play his own character.
Oh, okay.
So I was bugging him for a while, trying to incentivize him, and then I just didn't mention anything. And then for about 4 or 5 days, I was talking about man, I really want to get Brazilian barbecue, because he had mentioned that he was looking for a Brazilian barbecue place a week ago or something. And then I was like, okay, how can I fuck with Cody? So for the last 4 or 5 days, I've been talking about Brazilian barbecue with him. I need to go. Oh, I want to go. It's so good. Oh, I can I have a gift card. Just getting him really amped up about it. Yesterday, I was like, Cody, play my account. And this was when he was kind of hungry, before he ate. And I was like, play my account. He's like, no. I was like, I'll pay you. He's like, I don't want to get paid. It's not worth it. I was like, I'll buy you Brazilian barbecue. He's like, really? I'm like, yeah, man. Get me a couple levels. I'll buy you dinner. I got a gift card. Just think about how good that all-you-can-eat Brazilian barbecue is going to be. And then he totally fucking played.
That's brilliant, dude. That's brilliant.
I'm such an asshole. Except he can probably hear me bragging about that, so he might stop. But I just played hard to get with him of oh, you do it right now. He's like, oh, I'll think about it now. It's a one-time offer, Cody. One-time offer.
One-time offer.
All you can eat Brazilian barbecue. And now he's hooked, so I got him to sign back on for 2.
Ooh.
2 dinners, 2 steak dinners. One Brazilian barbecue, the other one to a steakhouse.
So I feel like you're just... I don't know. I feel like I've never played WoW, so I can't really relate to the levels that you're speaking of. But it sort of seems like it would be more fulfilling for me to get those levels myself.
No.
That's not the case?
No, because the real game starts when you hit level 60.
So
that's when all the fun, hard, and the good content is.
Okay.
So I'm just looking up the time that it takes. So on average, it takes about 240 in-game hours to hit level 60.
So you're gonna incentivize Cody for 240 hours worth of gameplay to get you up to 60 so that you can have fun.
Well, not even to 60. Even if I just got to like 25, that's when the game like changes, because then you can start doing dungeons and like raiding, like small like 5-man groups, which I love to do.
Right.
But I hate standing in a field questing where it's like, go kill 15 of these boars, and you just standing in a field like, die boar. And it's like all the same thing.
Right.
Like it's kill X amount of these things, or the ones that really drive me nuts when it's like, I'm making a boar stew and I need like 8 boar eyes. And you're like, okay. So you kill a boar and you loot it, no boar eyes. I'm like, motherfucker, I can see 2 eyes in your head right now.
No boar eyes.
And you'll kill like 5 boars before you find an eye on that motherfucker. It's like, God damn it. It's just miserable.
I mean, I can get it. That's sort of...
If you like tedious, though, like you like tedious, I think you'd get into it.
I like tedious to a point, but if it's all the same stuff over and over again, there's no variety. Like, that's sort of why I stopped playing Assassin's Creed.
I was going to say, it's basically 240 hours of Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, I love the storyline for Assassin's Creed, and I mean,
a little bit better than that, like not as brutally repetitive.
Sure, but it's like, if you want to do literally everything in a game of Assassin's Creed, you got to talk to the same merchant 42 times and do the same thing over and over again. You know, it's like, it's too repetitive. Like, and
the first one was a brilliant concept. I love the first one.
Yeah.
But it was the same, like 4 voice actors for everything.
Yeah.
It was just so painful.
Yeah. Yeah. And to be fair, I haven't played the newest Assassin's Creed, so I can't really comment on that, but...
Allie really likes them. She has said that they've gotten continuously better.
Well, good. Maybe I'll have to give it a shot.
I heard the pirate one's the best one.
Black Flag?
Yeah.
I'm looking at it right now. I don't have it for Xbox One. I have it for 360, but I don't play games on my 360 anymore. Yeah. I only use my 360 for streaming.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Why don't you use your Xbox One for streaming?
Because my Xbox One is down here.
It's different room.
Different room, yeah.
That makes sense then. Okay.
So,
I forgive you.
Well, we've been using we got a Roku, little Roku box.
How do you like that thing?
It's not bad. For a while there, I got used to not having a TV in my room. And now we have a TV in the room, and it's different. You end up staying up later, binge watching stuff.
That's the number one rule.
What's the number one rule?
If you're having issues sleeping, is to not have devices.
I know.
In your room. TV, like I watched it on my phone. Like last night when I couldn't sleep, I watched it on my phone.
Right.
And that even just like looking at your phone is really bad, and I know that.
Right.
But I just needed something to distract me. And I like it on my phone because it's uncomfortable. So then I get to the point where I'm like, fuck this. And then I just like go to bed.
Yeah, I'm tired of looking at
like
the sideways
laying on your
screen.
back and you're like, and it's just not like good.
What I usually end up doing is I hold my phone and I find a really stupid long YouTube video. And I just hold it, and then when my hand starts going loose and the screen starts tilting back on me and my eyes are drooping, that's when I know I can turn it off, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's usually how it goes. But I've had some weird insomnia kicks recently, and it's not even like I'll be laying in bed too, like trying to sleep, you know, and
you just drank a shitload of caffeine, which could take your body up to 4 hours to process.
Hey, listen, dude, am I laying in bed right now?
No, but you're probably gonna want to be in bed in like 2 or 3 hours. And that's right when that caffeine's going to hit. And then you're going to be like, oh, why can't I sleep?
You want to hear something? You want to hear something impressive, dude?
Yeah.
I have taken a 5-hour energy. Okay? Those things make me jittery as fuck. Okay? But then, hey, guess what? I lay down and I'm able to fall asleep. And that's like
you're able to fall asleep because that caffeine might not hit for up to 4 hours later is what I'm saying.
Well, in the middle of the night, who gives a shit?
Yeah, but that's not always the case, right? So if you're having issues falling asleep, I'm not saying it's not possible. I'm just saying it's not good.
Dude, I know it's not good. I know nothing about what I'm doing is good. Okay?
You're better than this, Zach.
Oh, Johnny, but I am not. I'm not. Johnny, I want to tell you a story.
Oh, please. I love stories. Give it.
So,
give it.
This past weekend, I think it was Saturday. I was driving, right? I was out driving. It was another one of my driving stories. And I get a call to pick up this lady named Marilyn. Okay? Mm-hmm. And she's at this local Mexican restaurant place. So I go to pick her up, and I pull up, and there's this hunched over, old, fragile-looking 85, 90-year-old woman. And she's sitting on the bench outside of the Mexican restaurant. She waves at me. I confirm that's her. She's got bags. I put the bags in my trunk. I help her out to the car. Like, totally respectful. Get her in the car. I'm driving her to her destination. She's making small talk. We get to talking about how I have kids. She tells me she has a son of her own who is 60 years old, by the way. So that's how I'm gauging her age. I didn't ask what her age was, but she had to be at least 80 years old. If
75, I would say 75 to 85, yeah.
Right, somewhere in there. And so she's like, "Yeah, he's a chiropractor." I was like, "Oh, that's nice. That's a nice career to have." And she's like, "Yeah, he has his own practice out in Colorado, but you know, I'm getting older, and he said he's going to come out here and live with me, and he's going to close his chiropractic business." I'm like, "Oh, well, that's very kind of him to offer to do that for you." And she's like, "Yeah, but I told him if he moves out here, he can't bring his Mexican girlfriend." And suddenly, Marilyn, this angel...
Okay, well...
This angel of a woman... No, she said, can't bring his Mexican girlfriend.
Yeah, but that doesn't necessarily mean he can't bring her because she's Mexican. She just might be trying to be descriptive for you in her story.
No, she said because she doesn't speak a word of English, and he's always having to do interpreting for her, and like, just, it's such a big inconvenience for her to be surrounded by people who speak a different language. And so she went from being this really sweet lady to just, I was just ready to kick her out of the car, you know? I wasn't rude to her. Mm-hmm. I wasn't rude to her.
I don't know what to tell you, Zach. You live in America.
I wasn't rude to her. You know, I feel like I still, you know, I was taught to respect my elders. I still will respect my elders, even if they're completely wrong. Mm-hmm. So, that was my my racist old lady that I had to drive around.
Oh, man. I'm just imagining her sitting there, but just been like, he better not bring his Mexican girlfriend.
Yeah, exactly. It was.
Is that how she said it?
It was that tone. Like... It was like, when she said Mexican, you could just feel
Mexican.
Right, you could just feel the hatred coming off of her.
You said you were picking her up outside of a Mexican restaurant.
Right. Apparently, she liked the enchiladas, but she didn't want the enchiladas being in close proximity. You know, that's apparently all it was. I don't know, man. It was.
What star rating did you give her?
You know what? I got her out of the car. I turned off the ride, and then I actually helped carry her bags in. So it was Lyft, and so when you stop a ride with Lyft, it doesn't wait for you to rate it. They give you like 3 seconds or 5 seconds to rate, and then it goes away, and it automatically gives the rider a 5-star if you don't change it. So, I don't think... I mean...
Did she tip you?
I actually don't know if she tipped me. You know what? She's savvy enough to do it because she had her own profile picture inside of Lyft. You know, and that's more than a lot of elderly people.
You should have just been like, build a wall.
Yeah, I should have. I should have doubled down on it.
Yeah, she would have given you a fat tip.
Maybe, dude. Maybe she she was a trip though. I think she was trying to move on pretty quickly because I think she sensed how uncomfortable I was. You know, like. I mean, lady, I don't know what kind of vibes you're picking up.
Maybe it's like a 90 Day Fiancé thing, and she doesn't trust her, and it's not that it's because she doesn't speak English. It's because like she's using her son and is not, trying to communicate with the rest of the family. I don't know. I don't know.
You're trying to justify. You're trying to.
I'm just saying. I just like to find the good in everyone, but the reality is, you live in Kansas City, so she's probably just a racist old lady.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who ironically loves Mexican food.
Yeah.
Which I don't blame her, because it is like high up there on like my list of preferred food.
Yeah.
Which is really shitty because Canada doesn't really have good Mexican food.
No?
No, man.
Shitty, man.
It's too cold up here for the good Mexicans.
Yeah, they don't want
good Mexican food doesn't exist.
Do you think there's definitely a market for it though?
I don't.
Do you think they
so.
would make a killing up there if they?
I don't. There was one. It was in a less desirable part of Calgary.
Mm-hmm.
I'm fairly confident it was a drug front, but I didn't care. I just went in there, bought my tacos,
sure,
some carne asada, and just chilled.
Yeah, dude.
But it got magically shut down one day, and no known reason to me, anyways.
Yeah.
And then we have like kind of hipster Mexican places. It's like taco bars, but it's run by fat white dudes with beards.
Sure.
Who know flavor. I don't want your hipster flavor.
You want authentic.
I want like a Mexican family. I don't care if like who's cooking in that family, making it for me like they're making it for their family. That's what I want. I want to be adopted by a Mexican family. I want to live with them, and I want to eat their food because it's fucking amazing.
Did you hear that, Mom? You gotta get closer when you say it. I want to be adopted by a Mexican family. That's what you need to say to your mom right now. Go ahead.
Well, she'll listen to this. Mom, I don't actually want to be adopted. I'm just saying I love their food.
What he's saying is, I'm translating. What he's saying is, he needs you to be more Mexican-like. Is that what I'm understanding?
She can't though. That's the thing. And
you need to learn how to cook authentic Mexican food for John, because it's all food motivation.
It won't be authentic. I tell you, I'm a weird believer when it comes to food that it's made with love and like a passion.
Yeah.
Like for example, I make a sandwich. Don't really care. My mom makes me a sandwich. It's the fucking best sandwich in the world. She's there's just weird things like that I have that I just think sometimes they're just better when someone makes them, and I just don't think you can match ethnicity that way,
Sure. So you need like a 75-year-old Mexican grandma just stirring the refried beans. That's what you need.
Yeah, I want exactly.
You need to have grandma in the back dishing you up,
whipping sandals at me.
There you go, man. Dude, that is authentic. Holy shit.
Exactly.
That's the full experience.
Yeah, that's what I want. God damn it, now I want some Mexican food so bad.
They bring the food out to you with a mariachi band.
I mean, I like to eat in peace, but
do you? You don't like a little bit of just a little bit of music to set the mood? I mean, if you're wanting authentic, dude, it's a party.
Don't be racist saying that mariachi band is mandatory.
I'm not saying it's mandatory for authentic, but hey, it adds to the ambiance, dude.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I'm saying. So, Johnny, what you mentioned you competed this past weekend.
I did.
Let's talk. Let's talk about it. How did it go? What was it? I think you previously talked about it, but as a recap for everybody who didn't listen the first time.
I had a freestyle grappling tournament, which is essentially Jujitsu wrestling tournament, submission only. I competed at heavyweight, weighing a whopping 207 pounds.
Ooh.
So I was actually the second smallest guy in my division. Yeah, it's just a straight jiu-jitsu tournament. I competed last February and finished third, and I competed last weekend and finished third, though I did a lot better in my matches. Had some solid finishes.
Yeah.
Which felt real good. But yeah, I had good stand-up. I was a little bit nervous because I didn't do as well in February as I'd wanted to. So I really just focused the last few months on like a couple aspects that I noticed from the last tournament. I was gassing really hard, so composure.
Yeah.
So just slowing down, breathing, being a little bit more relaxed, which is hard to do in a tournament because there's people and then there's someone you don't know and they're trying to choke you out.
Right.
So there's some nerves there. And then I just wanted better wrestling. In the first tournament, I was really looking for the counterattack, the sprawl and then attacking from the sprawl. And it didn't work out for me. I think there's a few, like there were some good wrestlers that showed up at the last tournament. And then I was just nervous and slow, like no excuses. I got taken down numerous times, actually. But so that was like my focus for this tournament, was just to be a little bit more aggressive on my feet and to push the pace instead of like letting it come to me. And I had some really, really good takedowns. Arguably the two, like if there was a top 3 takedowns, I probably would have had number 1 and number 2 of the tournament.
Wow.
The first one was against a guy who's more experienced than me. But he was a bit smaller. He was the smallest guy in the weight division. He signed up last minute, and there was only one slot left in the heavyweight, so he competed. But really good guy. And he was kind of like, we were hand fighting up top, and he collar tied me, so like grabbing the back of my neck basically, and was like kind of reefing me around. And so I started like just practice peeling and just feeling out what he was like, how he's reacting to what I'm doing. And I think that was like one of the big things, that I wasn't just linear, like let's go. Right. It was, how are you responding? What can I do to set up the takedown? So then I noticed whenever he got the collar tie and I would pull it down, like he was leading with his right foot to base himself. And I was like, okay. So I did it the first time, saw that leg. And I was like, okay, interesting. Did it the second time, saw that leg again. I was like, okay, this 2's a good enough pattern. Right. We hand fight. He gets the collar tie and I peel it. And as soon as I peel, I just like, I shoot in for the double leg. And it was perfect because like he was leaned forward, had that leg planted, scoop him up, and I'd like turn the corner, pushing with my head like beautifully. Yeah. And I just see like my coaches like in the corner, like just being like, yes, like just so happy. As I'm turning the corner, I'm like, oh, I got this guy. And I just like sink my arms together and just like pick him up and dump him. Nice. It was really good. I had a couple like really good double legs and then a nice outside trip, and then the two shots that I failed, actually I like recovered into a submission against the biggest guy in the division. He was like 240 and just maybe not 240. He was big. It's hard to tell. He's between 220 and 240, but just like all muscle. Right, shredded. Just a machine. Like I was just. It was my second match against that guy. I'm like, God, this guy's big. Like, made me look small. Right. I mean, I am smallish now, like at 207. Right. But I was like, God, this guy is gonna just throw me around. So same thing. Pushed the pace, got hooks, went to set up a shot, and he ended up sprawling, he had a good sprawl. And then I recovered and kind of into guard, and as he like came into my guard, I just got a hook in and finished a guillotine, and it was like done really quick. Nice. And dude. I was just like, oh my God, I'm so happy that was done. Didn't have to go full distance with him there. Yeah, I did not want to go the full distance with him. But yeah, so I focused on those two things, and I got the W's, and I actually was real close to being in a tie for first place. So then having to do a bonus fight for first. But the guy escaped a choke, and I was really bummed about it. And then I ended up tying for third, and then having to do a bonus fight. And I felt I was kind of like a dick in this fight, but kind of not. So I was really tired. Like I just finished, and then they like tally, and they're like, "All right, we like have a tie for third, so you got to fight again." And they call us up, and they're like, "Okay, we're gonna do 5 minutes, submission only," and then we go to like points basically,
right,
to determine. Which I hate points because I always fight like I always think of it as like life or death. Can I beat this person?
Right.
Can I break this person? Not can I rotate through positions to get points on this person? Right. So we're both pretty tired, and I like walk up, and like as the ref's like doing his thing, like, man, I'm like not opposed to just let's just hug it out for a solid 5 minutes. Let's just stand here, hug tenderly. We'll flip a coin for the medal, call it a day. And he kind of laughed, and he was like, "Yeah, man, I'm real tired too." And I was like, "All right, cool." And then the ref like goes, "Go," basically, and he immediately grabs me and like just reefs on me like to snap me down.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, "Okay, I guess we're doing this." Like,
right.
Let's go. So we kind of like stand up, hand fight a little bit, and then I land a takedown on him. And we have a little bit of a scramble, and I get to side control, and I can hear my coach being like, "Relax, relax, relax," because I was tired, and I just wanted to finish, and I was just like working really hard.
Right.
And like side control is like one of my preferred positions.
Right.
So I hear him hollering, just like, "Relax, relax, control, home base, relax, relax." And then I just like immediately stop and just like suck him into my body. I put all my weight, so I'm just like relaxing on him. He can't move, and I'm like, "I bet you wish you went for the hug now."
Dick move, bro.
And then he kind of laughed and was like, "Yeah, fuck." and then I choked him out.
Oh god, I know what the name of this episode is gonna be.
I bet you took the hug. I bet you wish you took the hug. No, but shout out to that guy. I can't remember his name. He had a pretty awesome name. It started with an H. He was a really, really good competitor, stand-up guy, great sportsmanship. Like we were pretty friendly, he almost choked me out actually in the round robin phase. So, yeah. I was like there to tap, maybe like tapped shortly after the ref said time, because I was like, I'm not getting out. Like, tunnel, like when I don't know if you've ever been choked out, or like if you're getting like, when you stand up too fast and you get that dizzy.
Yeah.
So how like your peripheral vision just kind of goes black and starts like closing in.
Yeah.
I was basically looking down like a toilet paper roll. It's like,
wow.
When I was like, "No," and I could hear my coach like, "Posture," and I'd like posture, and I would like try and open up the choke because he had his legs around my neck, and then I could hear his coach being like, "Hip in," so then he'd hip in and pull me back forward, and he'd get it tighter, and then my coach would be like, "Posture," and then I'd fight, and I'd pop back up, and it was like this just like back and forth.
Yeah.
And at the end there, I was like, in my head, I'm like, I can't do it. I can't posture. I'm like too fucking tired. And then the ref yelled time, and I was like, oh my god. I do want to do a quick shout out for a book. I know you're probably already done the Audible sponsor, and I have not recorded the bit, but you should check out Thank You for My Service, written by Matt Best, former Army Ranger, co-founder of Black Rifle Coffee. Brilliant book. Pretty funny. If you like some military humor and just humor in general, and hearing funny life stories about someone who did, I think he did 5 tours as an Army Ranger, and then did some contracting with the CIA, allegedly, because it's been redacted.
Yeah.
Pretty funny. That should be our book of the month.
Okay, so what was that again? One more time? Thank
You for My Service, written by Matt Best, co-authored by Ross Patterson, who was a book of a month that I did a little while back. It was At Night She Cries While He Rides His Steed, the first ever romance novel for dudes. I don't know if you gave that one a listen, but it's definitely worthwhile. He helped Matt finish and polish that book up. It's pretty cool. Talks a bit about his it's kind of like almost an autobiography about who he was as a kid, as like kind of a lanky teenager, emo teenager in like a screamo band, and how then he got into the military, came from a military family, and then how he pursued becoming a ranger in special forces, and then how he found himself after he got out of the military, and then how he made his way to the CIA, and then how his business strategy basically, and how Black Rifle has been so successful. It was on New York Times bestseller. It's on a bunch of bestseller lists. So I would say give it a look. That's my Audible pitch for the week. You can cut that out and use it for every episode for the rest of September. I give you permission.
Okay. Perfect. So guys, again, that's going to be audibletrial.com/jumbled to get your free audiobook. Again, that's Thank You for My Service by Matt Best.
Correct. 1T. M-A-T. Best.
There you go. That's going to be it, guys.
I have not I've not passed out from being choked. I have made somebody pass out before from choke, and I would prefer not to.
You said that so creepily, so
I would prefer not to do that again. I felt really bad about it.
Was it intentional?
Well, it was on. I don't know if you were there. It was at. We did like wrestling at house meeting.
Yeah.
And
I remember that. Who did you?
Jordan,
that's right.
Yeah, well, because he's stubborn.
Oh, real stubborn.
And so I got him into the choke, which was in and of itself was impressive because I am not.
He's a wrestler.
He's a wrestler, and I'm not a fighter at all. So I got him in the choke, and then they're supposed to tap. Like, it's supposed to be a tap right there. There was no tap, and then all of a sudden I just hear like he was snoring. He was out. He was passed out, and then I think he was even bleeding. But he like came to, and he was okay, and everything was fine. But I felt like a piece of shit. Like it's never what I want to do. That's never the end result that I want to end up at. So kudos to you. I mean,
that's partially on Jordo.
Yeah, sure. But I don't think I'd feel good about doing it to even somebody.
No, you never do. Honestly, like you don't. Even when you're competing, like I don't want to hurt anyone. I don't.
Right. No, I know.
At the end of the day, like. We're not. This isn't a career for us. Like we're not competing as like a. This is my profession. We're just doing it for fun.
Right.
And like the nature of that tournament is very like, let's have fun and just be chill.
Yeah.
Which is why I love it. Like it's good. I mean, there's great competitors that show up. Like don't get me wrong, really good competitors, but just like there's not really a meathead mentality. Which is what I like. I hate when you go to a gym and it's like everyone's puffing their chest out and it's like I'm better, I'm stronger, I'm faster, whatever.
Right.
Which is unfortunately really common with a lot of like jiu-jitsu or MMA gyms. This tournament is very chill. Actually, in one of the other divisions, there was I think he was like maybe 55-year-old man competing. And I think it was his first tournament. He did pretty good. Like that's what I mean. Like it's pretty cool. Like I don't know. We're just that tournament, and I think the teams that go to it are like-minded and just don't really care about the dickheads,
Sure. So, seeing how you've progressed from last year to this year, what do you think are some things that you could improve upon to get better for next year?
I think really continuing to push my wrestling more. I've been spending more time with our coach, one of our coaches who's a really good wrestler. Just working stand-up. I had a lot of success there, so I want to keep going with that. But just continuing with composure, really, and relaxing. I missed a couple small details in some of my attacks just from like rushing too fast or just being too excited.
Yeah.
Basically what it comes down to is you get that position like as soon as I got side control, I was like, fuck yeah, like this is my bread and butter. I'm doing it.
Yeah.
And I got too amped up on that. And it impacted some of my defenses as well, where I could have escaped better. But I was just too focused on one aspect and leaving other things behind. So little details. There wasn't anything that's like major where I need to learn a new move or anything like that. It's
refinement,
comfort. Comfort and refinement, and just hammering the little details and going from there. I mean, I had 3 different submissions, so it wasn't, I was diverse, which is good. I also went back to some more basics this tournament. I think that was a big thing, because I was in February. I was experimenting with a couple different styles, and they're less control based, which is probably a better fit for my style, to be a little bit more control based, and like fucking around with like rubber guard and stuff. And I had some good attacks from there, but then it wasn't like refined, and so there were some escapes. So this tournament, and still like coach just constantly saying like, give me basics, because I was like naturally going to some of those like sneakier or fancier things, but he was obviously seeing that I was either too tired to pull it off, or I was missing a key detail. So then I would hear him yell like, back to basics, give me this, and then I would just swim back inside, get head and arm control, back to basics, and I was successful. So I just need to keep forcing that, and not that I'm at a point where I don't want to learn new things. I just, those new things aren't at the level that I need them to be when I'm competing. So
okay.
So
so it's more about just improving on what you're doing currently, and making that the best version of what you can do there before you move on to trying to learn new different things.
Yeah, exactly. Just polishing and setups. The mind game in jiu-jitsu, I think, is a big piece, and that's the importance of slowing down. Is to understand like what your opponent's trying to accomplish and how you can use that, or how it can hinder you. Whereas if you're too, like a dog on a bone with like, I need to force this, I'm going to push it, you miss a lot of that information. And often if your opponent feels that, then they use that to advantage. So just, relaxing and knowing when you need to be fast and strong, and other times being more reserved, so you conserve energy, especially in this format of tournament, because like my shortest turnaround from in between fights was like 3 minutes, and my longest was like 6 or 7 maybe.
Okay.
And I mean, they're 5-minute matches, which people are like, oh well, you can go rounds. Like MMA fighters will go 5-minute rounds with a minute and a half in between.
Right.
But it's different, because that's 5 rounds over the entire fight. In this, you have 5 minutes to win a fight. Right. So it's like 5 individual fights. You have 5 minutes to figure out your opponent, understand what you're going to do, and then finish. Whereas in an MMA fight, you have fighters who will play the volume over force game, and throw a lot of light punches to get points, slowly wear them down, and then start turning it up, in 3rd or 4th round when you've pushed cardio. This is just like balls out for 5 minutes, and then you chill, and if depending on how the bracket gets set up, you either go again, sometimes back to back. That really sucks. So that becomes that like mind game of being calm and relaxed and conserving energy when you don't, like, not using it when you don't need it, and that's just an experience factor. So
do you think there's an aspect of being comfortable that plays 100%. Into that as well?
Yeah, 100%. I was decently nervous this time, because I was fairly nervous. I was definitely nervous in February for the first tournament. Right. Because it was like the first competition that I've had since the car accident. There's no pressure from my team, but my team typically does really good when they go to that tournament. But there was no outs, like other pressure from my team. Everyone's like very like, go with what you feel. And then, just the amount of extra effort coaches put into you when they know you're competing, and spending a little extra time, a little bit more focused on you, and just wanting them to see there's value in that, like that there's a return on that investment.
Sure, yeah.
So all the pressure I was feeling was like internal. Win or lose, like it didn't matter.
Right.
Like, I'm not getting paid. Right.
Right.
It's not my job. I'm not like,
Sure.
I'm going to go back to my wife and my dogs, and I'm going to go back to the gym, and my coaches aren't going to be mad at me about it.
Right.
Like, it's not.
Yeah.
But I wanted to perform, and then I was nervous when you're fighting someone. Like the adrenaline dump in February, that's what happened. I adrenaline dumped the first match, and like I was fucking cooked for the rest. I mean, still managed to squeak out a bronze, but it was not like pretty.
Yeah.
I didn't feel good about it. So then coming into this tournament I had a bit of like, I wanted to redeem myself,
Sure.
like to myself. And I wanted to show my coaches that I had progressed in the last, 4 months.
Yeah.
March, April, May, June, July. Yeah, 6 months. But I was definitely more calm. I was listening to my corner better. And, relaxing, breathing, like focusing on breathing before a match.
Mm-hmm.
And I just, meditated a little bit beforehand too.
Yeah.
So I just got myself in a good headspace and went in and basically was like, remember your goals. Your goals are not to win. Your goals are to land some takedowns and be more calm.
Right.
And if you do those things, good things will happen. But just do those things. Don't think about the win. Think about the things you can control.
Right.
So I as soon as I landed that first takedown in that first match, I ended up going on to lose that match actually, near the end of it. Got caught in a leg lock. We had some good exchanges. We both had some good sweeps. I was in his guard and I was really pressuring, trying to pass. I knew the time was running down a little bit low, and I was trying to go a little bit fancy and jump through his guard and land a choke. And he had caught me in the first time I almost got him with it. Then we scrambled, recovered, went back. I'm like, okay, I need to make this adjustment. I went for the same attack, and he was ready for it. And he set up a leg lock, and he sunk the leg lock. Was a heel hook, which are really dangerous because they are really easy to blow your knee out like completely. Like there could be a career ender. And in the safety meeting beforehand, they talk about heel hooks. Like if you have a heel hook, like let it go. Like if the guy's being stubborn, let it go. If you're in a heel hook, tap early. And we do a lot of heel hooks at my gym. Like some gyms don't do them because of the danger.
Right.
But they don't do them until later, like much further in your jiu-jitsu career. But we do them a lot, so I'm pretty comfortable with them. I like using them, fairly confident defending them. And so he sunk it, and immediately was like, fuck. So I went to defense, and I escaped the first attack, and then we rolled, and then he got it back in, and I felt it, and I was like, okay, this is more snug. Like this all happens really quick, right? But like in my head, I'm like, fuck, this is more snug. But I have this leg. I'm pretty bendy. I've gotten out of this position, but I was like, it's really tight. I'll just tap, and I just tapped. Like, didn't feel necessarily any pain.
Right.
You don't always feel pain in the knee. It's like one of those things where like I'm okay, and then boom, I'm not okay.
Right.
I didn't want to deal with that. It was the first match, and I was kind of hard on myself after. I was like, I probably could have fought through that. Like I quit basically. I think that's what bothered me, was that I felt like I gave up.
Right.
Carried on, won my next 2 matches. Like it was good. So like I recovered really well.
Mm-hmm.
And I there was part of me that was like, oh fuck, here we go. Like starting off with a loss. And I was like, no, like what did you come here to do? You landed a fucking awesome takedown on this guy who's is a more experienced wrestler than you. Like
sure.
You won. You did what you wanted to do, like get out of your own head.
Right.
And went back into the next fight and did good. So like that was a win for me too, to like that mental aspect to overcome that.
Yeah.
But this Sunday, my fucking knee was real sore. So
good thing you tapped.
Hindsight, I was like, you know what? You made a good call. Because Saturday, even after, like talking to my coaches about it, and they're like, yeah, like you defended the first attack really well, and you transitioned, and like we've seen you get out of that position before, but if you can tell that it's tight, it's not worth it, right? And at the end of the day, like if there was like $20,000 on the line, I probably would have tried to get out of it.
Sure.
But it's a picture and a medal, right? That's on the line, and I was like, yeah, fuck it. And they're like, you made the right call. Like, you at the time you felt it was tight, not to fuck with heel hooks. You made the right call.
Right.
But had I not, and say that match went to a draw, I probably would have got silver. So then you start doing these like what if things.
Sure.
But then Sunday morning when I woke up and I was like, "Ooh, I need to ice this," I was like, "All right, you made the right call. Get over it. Like, move on."
Exactly. Bronze isn't looking so bad now. When you get to put it up next to your healthy knee, that's you compare it.
Yeah, exactly. So we had a good team celebration. My other teammate, he competed in his division, one weight class lower than me, which is why I didn't do the full cut.
Right.
And he got silver.
Awesome.
Was really proud of him. So we had a pretty good showing, and then we went out for lunch, and I ordered like a pizza sub and a pizza poutine, and I ate like 3 pieces of pizza from we just ordered like some pizza for a few people, and
that's awesome.
Coach was like, "You earned it, like, get it."
Yeah.
And I was like, "I want a steak," and then my other coach is like, "You get a steak when you get first place," and I was like, "Fuck."
Damn, should have got out of that heel hook. God damn it.
Yeah, fuck. So then I got home and I got more food. I just ate. I weighed in Saturday. I shit you not. I weighed in Saturday, 207 pounds. Monday morning, after just binge eating all of Saturday, all of Sunday, I ate everything. I didn't get McDonald's, which I was really surprised by.
Yeah.
But I got like shawarma, and I ate popcorn. I ate an entire bag of chips. I ate an entire large, like a family-sized bag of peanut butter M&Ms. Like, just fucking going hog wild.
Right.
Not super John hog wild, but like I was living it up.
Right.
I weighed myself Monday morning and I was 215.
Oh my god. 8 pounds. Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah, just straight bloat. I ate like 6 bagels.
What kind of bagels? Just regular ones?
Poppy seed or everything bagels. I really like poppy seed. And then I just put cream cheese, and I really like cream cheese and tomato slices. But then Allie bought lox, so I was doing kind of like bagels, cream cheese, and lox.
Yeah.
I was just hammering these fucking bagels.
If I'm gonna eat a bagel, I like a blueberry. I gotta have the blueberry.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I like blueberry bagels with either just the cream cheese itself, or I double down on some blueberry schmear
double
or something.
blueberry,
Double blueberry it up, man. I have no problem with that.
Yeah, I really like everything bagel or poppy seed bagel or plain bagel, cream cheese and tomato slices.
There you go.
I don't know why I picked it up from a friend in high school. I want to say was really into that.
Yeah.
And I thought it was ridiculous to get a sandwich. She was a vegetarian, and I was like, "Why would you get a sandwich and not get meat in it? Like, that just seems ridiculous. Come on." She's like, "Oh, just give it a try."
Yeah.
And then I ate it. And was like, "All right, I'm kind of into this. Like,
right, yeah.
I could see that." I really love cream cheese, though. I got cheesecake too.
Like all these little things.
I was like, I think I'm good. And then the waitress was like, "Oh, but do you want dessert?" And I was like, "Ooh."
Is it just traditional cream cheese or the cheesecake?
I got it just plain cheesecake.
No strawberries or anything on it?
No, not my jam, man.
Oh, okay.
I'm not really a big fruit fan in desserts or in salads. I like fruit by itself.
Fruity salads are sort of weird.
Oh, I asked her for carrot cake because that's my big weakness. And she's like, "No, we don't have carrot cake." And I was like, "Well, fuck. Do you have cheesecake?" She's like, "Oh yeah, I can get you cheesecake." I was like, "Oh my god, I want cheesecake." She's like, "Do you want chocolate, caramel, like strawberry?" I'm like, "No." She's like, "Do you want whipped cream?" I'm like, "No, I just want a big plain chunk of fucking cheesecake."
Right.
Coach
graham cracker
just looking at me like, oh boy.
Dude, I'm a sucker for I like pie.
I love pies too. I'm more of a pie guy over cake.
Yeah.
If I'm getting cake, I like carrot cake and cheesecake.
Yeah.
But I'm not like a really big chocolate cake kind of guy.
Yeah.
I love pies though.
I love pie. And I'll go for the sort of, I mean, everybody likes an apple pie or a pecan pie or something like that. But
pecan pie is my jam.
I love it. I can eat it all day long. But I prefer like a lemon meringue or a key lime pie, something like that.
I'm not into like the pudding pies. I really like strawberry rhubarb. Mm-hmm. Peach. Apple's like traditional. Like you can never go wrong with apple.
Yeah, scoop of ice cream on top of it makes it really good.
Yeah. But if I could only pick one pie for the rest of my life, pecan pie, hands down.
Yeah. I like a good pumpkin pie with
I was just gonna say my number 2 is pumpkin.
Yeah, some Cool Whip on it.
Number 2 is pumpkin, and then number 3 would probably be strawberry rhubarb.
Not bad, dude. Not bad.
It's good. It's a solid trio right there.
Where can I go at 9:41 at night to get a pie? Grocery store.
Man.
I think they're 24-hour grocery stores, so let's do it.
Well, we could wrap it up, and you could make it.
All right.
Because now I'm thinking pie. God damn it, Zach.
I'm sorry. I shouldn't have brought it up.
I need to get my act together.
I'm going to call you back with a pie in my hand.
But it's so good being dirty. It's just so good to
Dude, yeah.
just be like, yo, eat this whole bag of chips.
Yeah, fuck it, dude.
It's okay. An entire bag of Miss Vicky's. My mouth was burning. Didn't give a fuck.
I see no issue here. All right. Let's wrap it up. Thanks for listening, guys. We really appreciate it. Thank you for coming back. To all our new listeners, thank you so much for joining us. Please spread the word. If you're new or an old listener, spread the word of the podcast. Let people know about us. We want to continue to grow this thing. We do appreciate it. If you could head over to iTunes and leave us a 5-star rating, that would be much appreciated. If you want to catch us on any social media, it's @JumbledPodcast. You want to send us any emails, it'd be jumbledpodcast@gmail.com or johnny.jumbled@gmail.com.
Johnny.jumbled.
Oh, you came up with this. I'm going to have to record just that part right there.
Make a little jingle for my email?
Yeah. I'm going to get like some of those old-timey, like, remember when they used to use like just have some random women singing like ad spots on the old school radio? That's what I'm going to get just for your email address.
Love it.
Head over to audibletrial.com/jumbled and get your free 30-day trial and a free audiobook. Head over to patreon.com/jumbled, pay $500 and get us an address, please, for the love of Christ. And you know what? I never thought I'd be asking for somebody to pay me to dress up like a woman more than I am, but hey, here I am. We hope you guys enjoyed. we hope you guys enjoyed this week's episode. Oh, Johnny, last thing. Did you end up selling your car?
I have a $5,000 deposit, so it's looking
good.
Looking positive that it is sold. Daddy's buying a new motorcycle.
There it is. Look forward to
rap, baby.
Look forward to getting an update on that next week. But we will talk to you guys then on another episode of Jumbled, your favorite podcast.
About struggle snuggles.
Struggle snuggles. Gotta love it. We'll see you guys next week.